Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a deep breath in and out. Exhale the doubt. Everything is okay. Now let's see what messages Mind Body Bronx has in store for today. All right, that's my intro number 2. If some of y'all are still late to the party, I've rebranded. My name is Mind Body Bronx. On here, you know me as Tarot by Bronx before this, but yeah, we got a little vibe set in here because I'm doing my video, I'm recording it at night, and I'm gonna set the vibe even more once I turn off this light. But thank you guys for watching. If you're seeing this right now, you're seeing it early access on Patreon, early access gang. And shout out to my Pluto and Aquarius shirt. I made this shirt last year when it first went into Pluto and Aquarius, but it's on my Etsy shop. I will tag it below if you're interested in seeing it. But yeah, so Pluto and Aquarius, we're about to step into this energy. And before it retrogrades back one last time in September for 2 months, then we're gone. Then we're off. But this is going to be for all the signs. So I did a part 1 already. It's on my Patreon. If you have not seen that part 1, go look at it. It's exclusive for right now. I don't know when or if I will release that one, but that one is the one that I'm explaining what Pluto and Aquarius really means, generally, what Pluto represents, what it meant when we had Pluto and Capricorn, how the signs are affected, XYZ. It just goes into depth about that. And then part 2 was the fall of celebrity culture I just put out yesterday. And now this is the final part. So I appreciate y'all tuning in for this and being here with me for the early access video. Okay. I'm gonna be looking at my notes. So yeah, this is only going to be for what is happening for the signs. And I'm not going to talk too much more because this is going to be a pretty long video. Probably I'll try to keep it under 30 minutes. But just want to go over first the dates that Pluto will be in Aquarius are going to be from January 20th this year, 2024, through September 1st, 2024. Last year, we only had it from March to June. So we got a little glimpse of it. This time it's a longer stretch. All right. And then November through March 6th, 2043. So there's that. Yeah. So we're going to say goodbye. It's going to be sayonara, Pluto and Capricorn, but I'm still excited for Pluto and Aquarius. And where it's going to be affecting everybody, mostly Aquarius placements, but also the fixed signs, of course. Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. But let's first talk briefly. I'm going to go over real quick for your major planets. If you have major planets in Aquarius, where you'll feel the transit Pluto and Aquarius. So if you have your sun in Aquarius, then you will feel a complete transformation of the ego. So the sun represents the ego in your chart, personality, who you think you are, as well as your personal wants and possibly your relationship with your father, because sometimes the sun in astrology can correlate to the father. Saturn correlates to, could be fathers as well, grandfathers, people that we respect, or masculine energy. But the sun is our vitality and masculine energy. The moon, a complete transformation of your emotional needs or what you need to feel safe and secure. Could be a relationship to the mother as well. And more of a drive for emotional freedom. If you have Mercury in Aquarius, there's going to be a transformation in the realm of your communication and how you think and your ideas. So if you're a type of person that struggle with talking about your ideas or struggle with communication, you're going to find that you're feeling more empowered. But over the span of this full transit, so the next 20 years, you're going to go through a lot with your communication. Now, I don't have Mercury in Capricorn, but I have my 3rd house in Capricorn. So that's where Pluto was for me the last 15, 20 years of my life. And so I did go through a lot of transformations with my voice and how I think and the mind, but it can be more direct if you have your Aquarius Mercury. Next, we have Venus. If you have Venus in Aquarius, transformation of your social connections, friendships, and romantic relationships. So you'll become more of a catalyst for change in your social circle, or you're going to move towards more unconventional relationships. So that may be whatever, open relationships, polyamory, who knows? We'll see. We got 20 years to figure it out. And then Mars, you're going to be feeling more desire and drive for passion or for revolutionary pursuits, like to express yourself. Social justice and reform. You're going to be like a rebel, possibly for your community, or be like a voice, like expressing your anger for certain causes, or you're going to challenge the structures in whatever your chosen field is, or whatever you're doing, probably. So that's if you have all the major planets in Aquarius. The outer planets, they matter, but they may not affect you as much on a personal level. So we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to dive right into Pluto in Aquarius for all 12 signs. Now, for this, where you need to look is your rising sign. Always look for your rising sign first when you watch astrology forecasts. And then you can look for your sun, but your rising sign is always going to be most accurate. If you don't know your rising, of course, look for your sun. But rising sign, rising sign, rising sign. You can look at tropical or you can look at sidereal. It's up to you. But I read for tropical astrology. So with that being said, let's hit it. Dun, dun, dun. That's such a vibe. This is Aquarian right here. Like this is Aquarian. If you don't like the lights, it shouldn't be like too flashy, but you don't have to look at the screen. You can just listen. But Pluto in Aquarius, so Pluto destroys in order to rebuild. I want you guys to keep that in mind with everything that we're going to go over. Pluto destroys in order to rebuild. So you may not feel, sorry, I was distracted by my DJ board. I was just adjusting it. But you may not feel the effects of like empowered and in control at first, when we first get into this transit, because again, Pluto has to destroy, death, in order to rebuild, rebirth. So you might find that things are getting torn down first, like whatever the area you have Aquarius in your chart is torn down first, if it's not authentic, for sure, to be rebuilt properly, to empower you, to transform you in a sustainable way, an empowering way. So if you have your first house in Aquarius, which means you have an Aquarius rising, you will feel Pluto more than any other zodiac sign. This is going to be a complete transformation of your persona, who you are, what you represent, your physical body even. Your physical appearance is going to go through many changes, how other people see you, and just finding your own personal power over time. So you're in a unique position to upgrade your life, but that doesn't mean that it'll be easy. Like I just said, if you have not been living in like your most authentic sense of self, then you will find that you're going down. Like you're going down to the ground, being stripped everything away so you can rebuild and figure out who exactly are you and what are you outside of things that you've adopted as you that aren't you. So you may be humbled, you may be torn down, you'll go through like an ego death that will take place, and accepting what you need to let go of, or releasing mindsets that no longer serve you, or perspectives that don't serve you any longer. And you'll find that the more stubborn you are about it, the more uncomfortable it's going to feel for you. It's not going to be easy if you're fighting the transformation of your physical body, or like it could be your identity, your sexuality, stuff like that, breaking free from who you thought you were. But go with it. Focus on your physical body, focus on your needs, what you feel like you need within you, and take heed to the changes or what needs to be supported there. Also, one thing I want to add is Pluto rules obsession. So you may become like obsessed with like figuring out who you are, and like, or other people may become obsessed about you and really concerned about you and who you are. Think of like Scorpio rising, Pluto in the first house energy. I have both of those, but people may just start to, be possessive over you. It is possible, but yeah, Aquarius, you are the star of the show. You're going to feel this. Again, this is over 20 years, so you may not feel it right away. Some of you might. I don't know. We'll just have to see, but you have to be open and willing to transform your identity over the next 20 years. Second house, Capricorn. We're getting through these, y'all, because there's a lot of us. Second house, Capricorn. So there's going to be major changes coming to your finances, and you'll be pushed to release any false sense of security that you have surrounding money. So if you're just doing jobs just for money, if you're doing things just to accumulate wealth, but it's not really serving your soul, you may find that you go through A challenging time with money and challenging your scarcity mindset closely and making sure that you prioritize. So, not living beyond your means, taking care of your debts, and you'll become more empowered and wealthy when you realize that your worth is what pulls money towards you. Okay. You don't need to do something in order to feel worthy. You have to feel worthy first. And then that's how things align with you that are meant for you. So you will feel more money driven, but it's important to not let money control you and to run the show with you. All right. And try to resist the urge to bury yourself in materialistic goals and materialistic things and thinking just doing things to accumulate. You're going to have to let go of things as well. So, things that you hoard in your house, get rid of the old stuff. If you want to make room for more, there's something you have to let go of. So, Pluto is not necessarily about sacrifice like Pisces is, but Pluto is about like, okay, we need to let something go first so that the new can commence and take hold. All right. So, really appreciate the people that you have and the people that are helping you through this period as well with your money and with your finances. But learning to release old things and not being too obsessed with money and too obsessed with just getting. You may find that, there's a crisis first if you're getting money from a more materialistic standpoint before the wealth comes in, before the feeling empowered by your status comes in. So just keep that in mind. All right. If you have a Sagittarius rising or sun, this is happening in your third house. Your third house is of communication, siblings, short distance travel, study, learning. So you'll begin to notice a shift in the way that you think and speak and learn. So I just had Capricorn, Pluto transiting my third house. So now it's going to be in your third house. But now might be a good time for you to revisit basic knowledge of your ways of communicating. So you may find that if you have not been communicating authentically, that you're challenged in the way that you communicate, or there's a lot that is broken down for you with communication where you're going to have to build yourself back up. So this could mean like harsh communication exchanges. This could mean people challenging you with your communication, or you're going to have to really push yourself. I know like when Pluto was transiting my third house for a long time, a big part of my life, I had to really push myself out there because I was very shy as a child. I did not speak much. I was very quiet. Though I was always thinking, I always had stuff I wanted to say, but I never would say it because I was just afraid. I didn't want to be judged or whatever the case may be. So I held everything in. But now I speak all the time. I do still struggle with it, like in real life, but I can speak on here all day and talk to you. But I had to push myself. I had to take speech classes. I had to take theater. I had to perform, do poetry. So you might have the same thing where you're going to have to challenge yourself and see how your communication or your lack thereof has held you back. So, but there's a complete transformation in this way that helps you speak more refined, or you may be drawn to study more unconventional ways of communicating or learning. So that could be sign language, that could be learning another language, that could be, learning something different. All right. So moving right along to Scorpio rising, like me. So here, Scorpio rising. Aquarius is transiting our fourth house. I know last year when it went in my fourth house, I did have a big shift in my home life, my living situation, where my mom actually had to move in with me, and she's still here. But I'm thinking that when Pluto moves back into Aquarius, there might be another shift with that. So, Scorpio risings, let me know that anything significant happened with your mom or with your home life last year. But fourth house Aquarius, all about transformation of the home life and the family, your roots. And it's likely that you'll be able to see traumas more clearly or see things that still need healing within your family dynamic or how your family has really shaped you in a positive or a negative way. And family cycles that are closing out and will be closing out over the next 20 years. So fourth house is also about the past. So there could be some secrets that come out regarding your family or even your mom or your mom's side of the family that are exposed over the next 20 years. But, we'll see. You might be driven also to break generational curses or have to be more of like an advocate in your family for something that is not right, or even bringing certain family members together possibly. But you're shaking the mold of those foundations. And things with the mother, like I said, researching your bloodline could be something that is also of significance, like maybe doing like a ancestry test. I'm also hearing creating an altar, getting more connected with your ancestors, but also starting your own family. So if you haven't considered starting your own family, or it could be a family business, or investing into your future with the family, starting one of your own, buying a new house, building a life, that will be something that you're desiring more in your family dynamic. But there could be a big thing, like if there's like secrets that need to be exposed, or there's like things that aren't authentic within the family, people that are hiding or not coming together, there's a big thing that may bring everybody together. And I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it because Pluto would say it. Death brings people together. And there is likely, 20 years, that's a long time. And there could be a significant death in the family that brings people together. I hope, God forbid. But death is a part of life. So we're just gonna do that. But that's what we're going through, Scorpios. Okay, so fifth house. If you have fifth house Aquarius, you are a Libra rising. So Libra, there's a strong desire to express yourself creatively that will emerge. So fifth house is about your creative expressions, your hobbies, your romantic life, fun, joy, all things like Leo energy. But you'll be in a unique position to empower and refine yourself through your hobbies and through art. So artistic endeavors will be fun for you. But the thing about that is you need to release the ego of holding on to old hobbies that no longer serve you, or holding on to hobbies that maybe other people projected onto you, or they kind of put you in a box regarding. And you might be drawn to things that are a little bit different. I don't really know what exactly that could be. But if you have a Libra rising, let me know what hobbies you have that may be looked at as like weird or different. I'm hearing like collecting things. I don't know if it's like figurines or toys or something. I don't know. That's just what I see in my head. But it's also possible that you could be feeling more drawn towards children or healing your inner child. So you start working with children, doing more work around children. And you could have a child during this time or start parenthood. So you could either early on become a parent during this transit, or you're going to be a parent in the significant amount of Pluto and Aquarius time frame. But you're likely to rebel against the normal structures of what a parenthood looks like. So you may raise your kids a little differently, or what is considered fun, or what is considered a hobby. So that's if you have a Libra rising or sun. I think that's it for Libra. That one is kind of cut and dry. Now, Virgo rising, you have Aquarius 6th house. This is an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one. I think this is going to be one, I feel like for Virgo and Pisces rising, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, at least at first. And I'm just giving you a heads up. Don't be mad at me. I know you don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. But at least you will be prepared. So Pluto is hitting close to home for Virgo risings. It's in your house of work, routines, and health in the 6th house. So you may become a little bit more obsessive about your health, or have more health anxiety, or could even be some upheaval with health or health crisis that causes you to have to really slow down. So there could especially be upheaval if if you just overwork yourself, you become too obsessed with your routines, you become too deep into work. I'm a Virgo and I have health issues, and I have cut back on a lot of my work because last year my body was just like breaking down, or my mind, one of those things. They're both connected. But that's why I changed my name to Mind Body Bronx, because I started really diving into my health and my triggers and healing my mind so that my body could heal. And it was no longer a body issue for me, it was a mind issue. So it's like once I got out of that, the stress mindset and the overworking mindset, then my body was like, okay, we can calm down. So you may experience that as well. But challenges to the health or transformation of a routine or a lifestyle are likely. So, just one thing I can think of, and this doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen to you, but it could, like some type of health situation could cause you to have to completely change or rearrange your life. Could be somebody around you as well, possibly. But how I see it is or like some type of health thing is like it completely changes you. It changes your life and it empowers you. You use it to empower others, something like that. So not to scare you, but that's what it means. But you'll need to buckle down on good habits for your health, eating right, less alcohol, more exercise, or you might start to help other people with their health goals and achieve those goals by being like a mentor to them or a coach. Maybe even creating some type of app, forming some type of health community, some type of service for healing, or getting other people organized or less stressed, possibly. Okay. So next we have Leo. Leo, if you have a Leo rising, your Aquarius will be your Pluto in Aquarius transit will be happening in your seventh. I don't know. Can't form words. But yeah, so you'll have Pluto transiting your seventh house. So this is all things relationship dynamic. Relationships, romantic will be at the forefront. The romantic connections are going to feel more important to you and desirable. It's especially going to be like friendships, because Aquarius is connected to like friends and acquaintances too. So you will feel like you'll have a lot more lifelong friends, but it may not be right away. You may lose friends first, or you're going to go through a big transformation and change with your friends, like who you have or who you're friends with now are not going to probably be in your life by the end of this transit. You're going to have a 180 with your friends. But you'll go through the highs and lows of discovering healthy and unhealthy patterns within your relationship dynamics that have kept you stuck. So like if you've been just keeping people around for the wrong reasons, or you're holding on to toxic relationships, you're going to go through hell with those people until you let them go. And it's going to be at the expense and the demise of you. So keep that in mind. If you are struggling, look at your relationships, because that's what you need to let go. Pluto will also likely to reveal possessive or jealous people or jealous behaviors in you that you need to address, or in others around you. But you'll be able to more easily identify, avoid, and evolve beyond toxic relationships if you allow that to happen. All right. Now, Cancer risings. Cancer rising, Pluto is transiting your eighth house. Eighth house. So Pluto's at home here in the eighth house. And I feel like for Cancers, this transit is also going to be a little tricky. So for you, Virgo and Pisces risings, especially, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Like you got your work cut out for you, because eighth house is not an easy house. It's not. So you may receive like a double dose of like feeling that Pluto influence. But your desires will be more irresistible. So things that you yearn for, or even things that you keep private that you really want. However, Pluto's influence being destructive, it will require that you tear down certain behaviors, certain addictions, certain relationships, so certain codependent behaviors in order to make way for the new. And holding on to the situations or people that you need to let go of in order for this to happen. You need to let go, similar to what I was just telling Leo rising, but you will need to let go too. But there's a lot more. It's like in a more general sense. It's not just relationships. It's more so like anything that you have an unhealthy, enmeshed relationship with. So that can be family members, that can be things, that can be people, that can be places. You're going to have to let go. You're going to be letting go of something. You're going to be losing something. So just get that in your head. I don't know what it is, but you are going to be losing something. Like, because 8th house is the house of loss. Well, 12th house is loss, but 8th house is death, which is also a type of loss. So just saying. I'm being very blunt in this video because I'm not going to lie to y'all. But like I said, everything destroyed, it gets rebuilt. So no more people pleasing, no more putting others first, and business deals and partnerships, intimate partnerships are very likely to take place for you that are more fulfilling once you are willing to let go of what no longer serves you. Okay. 9th house, Aquarius. So Gemini risings. Gemini, this is happening in your 9th house of beliefs, of long-term goals, of travel, of philosophical thinking. So, for you, also truth and expansion. You might be feeling like there are some losses before you can expand outside of your realm that you're in right now. So you may be feeling a little bit confined at first, or maybe you know how you want to break out of where you are, or maybe you want to travel, but you just can't do it yet for some other reason, like finances even, or maybe you don't have the knowledge yet. Or maybe you have to finish school first. Like there's something in the dynamic of maybe you're having to take a long journey through school, or it could be something regarding learning some new study. But yeah, so there's also new information that makes you question your religion or your religious beliefs. So there's going to be a big transformation in the realm of what you believe and how you celebrate your spirituality, or if you have one, or religion. So if you're going from, you may go towards more unconventional spiritual pursuits or trying different things. Like if you weren't spiritual, you may become spiritual. If you were spiritual, you may let it go. Yeah, so it could be a major change there, but it's radically going to change by the end of this transit. So allow yourself to explore and see what else is out there. See what other types of beliefs exist. Travel is also likely to be a large part of your journey, or you're going to be pushed to travel. During the next 20 years, you're likely going to be doing a lot of that though. And I know you already travel, but you may find yourself staying in one place for a longer time. So yeah. All right, y'all. I actually took a brief intermission so I could go eat dinner and come back refreshed. Okay. So we got 3 more 10th house. 10th house Aquarius, Taurus risings, or sun. But if you have a Taurus rising, Aquarius activates the sector of your chart that governs success, authority, public reputation, and boundaries. So there can be a big transformation in the realm of how you show up for your long-term career. And so if you don't know what you want to do for your long-term career, it's likely to change several different times over the next 20 years. So I would not get too attached to anything that you're doing right now, because you never know. You could suddenly be doing something else. But dynamics will shift dramatically. You could even discover like some shady stuff might be going on in your career, or with people that you work with, or in the office even, which could cause you to step up and seize the power or seize control. So you may move up in your career, like you may become a manager, something of that nature. But your career is likely to go through many intense my stomach is like digesting. Many intense, where was I at? Changes, and it could be some challenges too. Okay, because Pluto is a pretty challenging planet. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But power struggles likely to come up, possible betrayals with people in your workplace, co-workers, or in your occupation could come into play, making it important that you're mindful of who to trust and who you connect with. Also, sometimes where you have Pluto, is where you want to be more private. So that's one thing I did forget to mention for everyone. So I'll try to remember to mention it again at the end. But that's why I made the tweet about Taurus risings. If you have Aquarius 10th house, you may want to be more private about like having that boundary with your work life and your personal life. So maybe putting your personal pages on private, because there could be some things that are used against you at work or something of that nature. But another thing that I found interesting when I was just like studying and reading about this transit was like some astrologers were saying to stay in your current profession. So staying in your current profession will be the key to thriving, because it will undergo several advancements while you're in it. So you're kind of going to be ahead of the curve. So if you leave a job too early, you may find that you actually end up falling behind because that job was kind of advancing. But that's not for people that, of course, you're undervalued or underpaid or whatever. It's just if you're thinking of switching, maybe hang in there a little bit longer and see it out and see what happens before you just switch. Next thing. Oh yeah, I already said that. Considering setting your social media accounts to private moving forward for a little bit, or if you're concerned about people from work seeing your personal pages, maybe make your personal pages private for a bit, or you may end up doing that at some point over the next 20 years. Alrighty. Aries, if you have an Aries rising, then Aquarius is falling into your 11th house. So Pluto is going to impact your entire sense of community, friendships, your desires, your hopes, and your wishes, as well as social media. So you may refine your identity as it relates to groups that you associate yourself with. And so it is likely that you're going to lose quite a bit of friends over the next 20 years, so you can regain more authentic ones. So if you have any fake friends around you, betrayals are likely, things being exposed within your friend groups or toxic friend groups are going to come out. Or you may find that you are challenging and shaking the mold up in whatever group you're associating with. All right. You may find like friends switch up on you though before you find your new tribe. Also, you can make a big statement on social media over the next 20 years. You may become some type of online persona, start some type of group, some club, some website, something where people can connect online, or become like an influencer. But a desire to dive deeper into your personal interests, you might be taking social media more seriously, especially as there's going to be like a lot more advancements that we can't even think of right now because they don't exist yet over the next decades. But you may start to explore classes, special interest groups, both online and in person, helping you form like a web of support that's based on creative pursuits and commonalities. But you'll want to learn to lean more on others versus being a lone wolf, because Aries in the 11th is a little bit of a contradiction, because Aries is a sign of independence. It doesn't really like to be tied down or associated with any groups, but having it in the 11th house, having Aquarius in the 11th house, I'm getting mixed up. Actually, it's good to have Aquarius in the 11th, because Aquarius is home in the 11th house. 11th house is associated with Aquarius. I was thinking that if you had an Aries 11th, so scratch what I said. I was getting mixed up. But if you have your Aquarius 11th, that's good. That means that's kind of like natural for you to want to be there and connect with people. Because when you have an Aries rising, all your houses are with their natural rulers, because it goes in order from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, which is first house correlated to Aries, second house correlated to Taurus, Gemini, XYZ. But all that to say, you just want to make sure that you're connecting with other people if you are more of a lone wolf type of person. And it is possible that you may become obsessive over friends, or they can even become obsessive over you. In social media, you may develop some type of stalkers online, so be careful about that. Okay. Lastly, spicy Pisces. So spicy Pisces, if you got Pisces in your rising sign as your rising sign, then you will have Aquarius in your 12th house. So, like I mentioned for Cancer and Virgo, possibly as Scorpios too, water signs, water risings, this is going to be probably a more challenging period for us. But especially I say Pisces, because Pluto in the 12th is quite a wild ride from what I've heard. I don't think I know anybody personally that has it. I might, but from people that have Capricorn in the 12th house, they've expressed how it was difficult, but they are survivors. They're still here with us. So they got through it, and as will you. Now, major spiritual death and rebirth, major subconscious rewiring. Okay. So like I mentioned, Capricorn just went through this, but you'll be taking a more honest approach and look at your mental health, your past decisions, or how your fears have worked against you subconsciously, how your own mindsets, your own traumas have held you back, self-sabotage. There's going to be a lot of self-undoing. But unhealthy patterns will become very apparent in order for you to move on or move away from them. And you want to really pay close attention to any aspects of your life that are continuously bringing you grief or destruction, as it might be you, okay? You might be the problem with some of those things that are happening, and you might not even realize it because 12th house is a blind spot. So when you have Pluto in the 12th, there's like a lot of chaos and things happening behind the scenes or beneath the surface, so you can't really figure out why. But that's where you want to look in the mirror and look in the reflection. And it may not be until like close to the end of this transit when you're starting to realize, okay, I see really like how I was the problem in a lot of these circumstances. But rebuilding your mind and your subconscious is the key to finding your inner power. So establishing more boundaries with yourself, being more private, learning to save yourself, not wait for anybody else to save you, take accountability, because 12th house is correlated to Pisces. And sometimes in the 12th house, things just get lost, and it's easy to become a victim because there's just this sense of loss of self. And you're like, everybody is taking from me, and you're not quite seeing that you are allowing people to take from you because you don't have the boundaries, or you don't have the discipline, or you don't have the discernment all the time. So there's going to be a lot of mental things that are happening here, and you're learning and you're getting stronger. You're getting a stronger mind. You're getting stronger spiritual gifts. You're getting stronger, learning to have better boundaries. But being more private is something that you're likely going to lean more into, and you might have more of a desire to be behind the scenes lifestyle, more supporting than actually being on the forefront, more low key over the next 20 years with having this in the 12th house, because 12th house are about things that are hidden. You're going to find more power in your solitude, more power in your rest and recharging and restoring and disappearing, falling off the grid, coming back stronger, learning about yourself. So that's everybody, all 12 signs, Aries through Pisces, for where Pluto and Aquarius is happening for you. Let me know how this resonated. Let me know if it makes sense. I want to hear your comments. Hopefully, you continue coming back to this video for the next 20 years. Let's see where it takes us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I am at Terra by Bronx and Mind Body Bronx on everything.